أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
Okay, so, with all due respect to Layla, they kind of cheaped us out of a good mic. We have one mic, so it's this lapel mic. I can't really hold it like this, so we have one there too. So for the performers, if you prefer to stay over there, you can. If not, we can give this mic. I just want to give that caution. Disclaimer. Thank you very much. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillah wahdahu wassalatu wassalamu ala man la nabiyya ba'd. This is an entertainment session, but this is also an Islamic event. And so for the barakah, for the blessing of God, we want to start with the Quran recitation. But first I have to kind of give some background to this recitation, otherwise you might get confused. The Quran, when it was revealed to the Prophet ﷺ, Jibreel ﷺ revealed it in what are known as 7 ahraf, which is the plural of harf. And all of them are sound. The word is called mutawatir. And all of them have been revealed. And they kind of, as a theological point, they're actually very interesting to study. And they bring a lot of, this mystery to the Quran. So, for instance, there's different ways of reciting certain ayat. If you were to hear in Salah one day somebody say, Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim, normally they would say, Maliki Yawmiddin. But sometimes you might hear Maliki Yawmiddin, short fatha. And this is an acceptable way of reciting it in the recitation of Wash, An Nafi'. And there's although, when you study Tajweed, there's sudden stops, there's ghunna, there's madda, there's all these rules. So for instance, you might be reciting and saying, you might be saying, for instance, أَشَدُّ خَلْقًا مِنَ السَّمَاءِ بَنَاهَا. There's a pause there. Or كَلَّا بَلْ رَانَ عَلَى قُلُوبِهِمْ. These are different pauses that are there in the recitation that we understand as hafs. There are also points in the Quran where the inflection changes. So you might say, for instance, وَقَالَ رَكَبُوا فِيهَا بِسْمِ اللَّهِ مَجْرِيهَا, instead of saying مَجْرَاهَا. And so these are the differences that you're going to hear. Inshallah, Mansoor Hai is going to recite in three transmissions. The first one is Hafs, which is what we normally recite, on Imam Asim, Imam Asim. And then the second is Walsh, on Imam Nafi'. And the third is Khalaf, on Imam Hamd Shah. So we ask that to display proper etiquette to the Quran, that nobody talk and pay attention to the words of Allah, inshallah.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. أأنتم أشد خلقا أم السماء بناها
inshallah, as the performance gets started, first of all, just everyone get to the surah. If you don't know what different recitations are, I invite you to learn about them. It's actually very enriching to learn about. It's actually something I didn't know a few years ago, and it reflects the different. It was revealed to me different ways. It reflects the different tribes that were in different dialects. Potato, duha, and so forth. So inshallah, we're going to show that the trailer now for this event, for Islamic Modesty in general.
Christians and Muslims, Jews and Hindus, and non-believers.
500,000 Muslim Americans are living in the greater Chicago area. In local elections in 2011, one Muslim American is on the ballot. Ahmed Khan is running for alderman, focusing on issues related to his Chicago neighborhood.
Thomas Jefferson specifically included Islam when urging protection of religious freedom. American Muslims have twice the college degrees of the average. They make a higher income than the average. And there is this: 7,000 of U.S. military troops are Muslim, fighting around the world for the American dream.
What's the Quran really say about violence against non-believers? Are Muslim women oppressed? And where are the moderate voices in what is now the fastest growing religion in the world?
Muslim Americans are also concerned about remaining safe, but we don't want to be singled out and should not be singled out because of our religious belief.
The name of this religion is about peace and love, and they're radicalizing it. Does it infuriate you as a Muslim?
It saddens me, but that's part of what we have to do on a daily basis. Fact of the matter is there are about 7 million American Muslims who live their lives just like any other American, trying to put food on the table, trying to work for their families, make this country a better place and their community better.
آمنت بالله وملائكته وكتبه ورسله واليوم الآخر والقدر خيره وشره من الله والبعث بعد الموت لا إله إلا الله آمنت بالله وملائكته وكتبه ورسله واليوم الآخر
Yo, what's poppin', everybody? How y'all doing tonight? Y'all know DJ Native. DJ, spin that ish. Yo, put your hands up. Put your hands up, up and down, Everybody, welcome to the show, and it's all we need to see y'all go. It's alright, y'all coming now, it's on the back. So it's Native Strength, so give me loud. You sure?
Check it. Come on, just wreck it. You have to make the show us we just wrecked it.
That's it? Yo, man, quit being retarded. Let's get this ish started.
Alright, let's get started. Our first act of the show is going to be a nasheed with brothers Saifullah and Muhammad Nuruddin, inshallah.
Give me a beat.
Everybody hear me? Yeah? Assalamu alaikum warahmatullah. At this point, I can hear the beat of my heart a lot better than my own voice. So I would like to make a disclaimer. I'm extremely nervous right now. So if I do mess up, or if me and Saif mess up in our performance, we humbly ask that you bear with us, please, inshallah. So just a quick show of hands. Are there any non-Muslims here in the crowd? Alright. Alright, so just to give everybody a background here, I want to keep everybody on the same page. So, inshallah, me and Saifullah here, we will be reciting a poem, or in Arabic is also known as a nasheed. And in Islam, there are actually a lot of ways to praise the Prophet ﷺ and God Almighty Himself. And one of those ways is through a poem, or as I mentioned, a hamd or nasheed. And what we will be performing is one such poem.
Also, in Islam, we focus a lot on the spirit along with the body. So we believe that each and every one of us has a special connection to God. So I want...
Hey, Sean!
Okay, anyway, so I want all of you to focus, while you're listening, don't focus on the voice or the tone or all that stuff. Focus on the words, the lyrics, and focus on that connection you have with Allah, with God in your heart. Okay, so I don't know, do however way you do that. So just focus on that connection. And sorry, I kind of have to lean like this because the mic doesn't. Yeah. No, fine. Here goes. Allahu, 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 Allah, Allahu, Allahu, is for you, and to you will return. Allahu, 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 Allah, Allahu, Allahu, Allah. Ya Allah, Ya Rahman, Ya Rahim, Ya Hayyu, Ya Qayyum. Ya Allah, Ya Rahman, Ya Rahim, Ya Hayyu, Ya Qayyum. Thank you.
What a performance by two young betas, mashallah. Sam, you look bored up there. You kept checking your watch. You want to finish early? You kept checking your watch. You want to get off stage?
Anywho, inshallah, our next performance is actually going to be a video made by Mumtaj. What's her last name? Okay, inshallah. Mumtaj is
It's really not what it looks like. I'm just cleaning up before I go pray. The thing is dirty because she's pregnancy. I'm gonna clean up afterwards and just, try to do my best to put it out. Okay.
Oh my gosh, are you okay? Are you feeling alright?
Dude, I'm so sorry. I didn't say anything, but I'm totally fine. I was just doing one of the prayers that I have to do. Usually pray 5 times a day, so this is one of them. And usually you can't talk when you're praying because we're having a little conversation with God. Yeah, sorry. I'm totally okay though. Don't worry about it. Okay, good. Yeah. So what are you doing tonight?
Actually, I'm gonna be with my boyfriend.
Fun. Where are you guys going?
We're going to this really nice new Italian restaurant that's down the street.
Cool. Sounds fun.
Yeah. Actually, do you want to come with? My boyfriend has this really cute friend. He's in town for the weekend. I'll show you a picture.
See, the thing is, I don't really date. Actually, Muslims in general don't date. So, that wouldn't work.
You've never had a boyfriend?
So, like, we don't really hook up or date unless it's for something serious. It's like, I'm waiting late to class. Oh my god. Yeah, I'll see you later.
Yeah.
Where are you?
I was around. Yeah, we wanted to This was all your idea.
Fine, let's go. Okay, let's go.
What are you doing?
Oh, you're here, what's up?
What is this? I thought you didn't date.
I think he's my brother. Relax.
Hi.
So, brother, meet Katie.
I'm so sorry. I'm so embarrassed.
Don't worry about it. I'll see you later, okay? I'm heading out to dinner.
Okay.
All right, bye.
Bye.
Aren't all videos. Inshallah, our next performance is going to be by a local poet, Sana Kazmi. She's going to do some spoken word for us, inshallah.
Can everyone hear me? Yes. Okay, so I literally just finished this 20 minutes ago. But it's something that I'm passionate about. I'm sure a lot of you have already heard it before, but this is something new. Here it goes. I am a modest Muslim woman who would rather rely on my voice than the indecent exposure of my skin. I want people to be drawn to my speech rather than my physical physique. I do not want to be treated as an object to be claimed when I'm a human with a heart, a soul, and a brain. I refrain, not because others will think I'm untamed, not because you think I'm oppressed or in chains, and not because you think I'm weak or feeble-minded, but because this is who I choose to be. I would rather be respected for my intellect than be subjected to unwanted stares because I'm overexposed or underclothed. Everything shows, but nobody knows. But being clothed is only one aspect of what modesty means. It means much more than any eye can see. It goes deep down, underground, to your inner core of who you aim to be. It's about keeping consistency with what you believe and to achieve true humbleness in your mannerisms instead of losing sight is a fight. But it gets you through each night because looks will fade and get frayed, but how you act will in fact keep you intact. If you choose to be kind and keep an open mind instead of being blind and self-indulgent, you will not only find inner peace but have the strength to get by your darkest days because you've chosen to look within yourself instead of nitpicking everyone else. Making path for safer days, disengaging from the pressure of society's ways, lowering your gaze but raising your standard of self-respect while learning to reflect.
MashaAllah. Okay, so there's been an addition to the schedule. Inshallah, there's going to be a non-Layla student to come and share his talent with us. His name is Ali Abdul Latif. He's going to rap for us. You know, his raps, hopefully they'll be better than mine, inshallah.
Okay, so I came here planning on being like the rest of the audience, but once Stan told me to rap, I couldn't sing. Okay. I we're here on IAW's 4th day to hear what this Muslim has to say, or expecting another ethnic buffet. By the way, I'm sorry for the Monday if I finish all the biryani. I'll return lyrical to portray how I follow the straight way, Islamically from Egypt to the USA. It's not only about giving charity and to pray, but making sure you don't sway from good to bad. But there's been this bad that bad is good. Does this belief make me misunderstood? So let me take 5 minutes of your time if I could, so I can remove any mental blocks like a baby with blocks of wood. Because understanding doesn't come with a closed mind. That's not how our cognition is designed. It's to accept the divine. But I'm still looking for signs to help me define the reality I'm inclined to, so I find what's true with every day I go through, which makes me think anew. Places thyself on critical review, renewing my point of view, composing the words vibrating towards you, each with a different way to construe, but the only goal I had to pursue is to do all the good I can do, before I tell this world adieu. When falsehood's removed, hoping I choose wisely out of the infinite moves, it's hard to when you're confused by evil ruse, trying to destroy your spiritual fuse, always pressing snooze. Is it going to be the blue pill we choose? FX put truth on the news. It's nothing new, it's already done so on mainstream news, who frame Muslims in a negative light by saying it was them who hijacked the flight to manufacture a $200 million day fight, with each day hijacking a chance for the world to unite. What's also divided and conquer is the region's plight. That's why individualism is the rulers of the light, strengthening their political might. And you might say that's all right, or ignoring the passions I incite later tonight, because it's not missiles murdering your family in the middle of the night. We see wars in terms of death and bombs, keeps you aloof of the current battle for your mind going on, trying to condition you one by one, so you can be silent once they enter Iran, wondering where all your social security has gone, or when they dump wheat in the oceans by the ton. To know that the people in control has won is to know Newton's second law of motion. States that we are the mass with a relation with a determined acceleration, equals the force's magnitude and direction, which gives rise to a notion, how the vector is going towards a world ruled by a few for a few head-on. Having a disillusioned mass is the new order sine qua non, by placing us in a role of a pawn to accept policies sent forth from Babylon. I believe in the devil's cause because it states so in the Bible and Quran, but the Westerners from the forsaken one says there is none. So we continue our mindless fun, walking withdrawn from what's actually going on. Finding truth is not easy when we can't stand too much reality. Find it in Psalms 9:10. They that know thy name will put their trust in thee, for thy Lord has not forsaken them that seek thee. Sadly, at times I put my trust in me, so I can always have a yes guaranteed. It's easier when values and no one disagrees, ignoring accountability, because sacred scriptures are now treated like antiquity. So it's morality now defined by society, financed by the bourgeoisie, who treat brutality as a normality. The art of war defines its development by attacking not leaders but ethnicities. It's hard to realize the modern-day savagery because there's still in history, which will be written by their allies in academia, elite designing curricula, inception of ideas is even at Loyola, avoiding forbidden knowledge that matters, and still having lectures on how we came from primordial matter. That teaches us that we're from the same tree of the chimpanzee. Doesn't that just make me a specimen of biology? Not a member of humanity, connected by divinity? How else do you explain empathy? It's not evolutionary to protect someone out of the immediate family. So what makes the politicians care to protect them when they're slowly taking away our civil liberties? Who play around with terminologies by saying this country is run by a democracy, but the new age imperialism says it's run by a capitalist mentality, so they can go into weaker countries for free with the work of taxpayer salary. But those here are starving and shackled in poverty. Might say USA is in war because Iraqis and Afghanis don't have democracy, and we're setting those dictators, Al-Qaeda's people free, which leaves it a mystery how the past 30 years not treating Husni as an enemy, and ignoring the people here and around the world in actual misery. So in war, truth is the first casualty, which brings about another inquiry into the engineered trickery devised by mind-control psychology. Just look at the dark sciences studies. They're too busy look at the propaganda and influence of the Nazis, how they invaded resource-filled countries and tried to fulfill a darker prophecy, which you're not supposed to see executed by people behind the scene that are controlling foreign and monetary policy. To the presidential appointee, just because that are controlling foreign and monetary policy, to the presidential appointee, just because you might disagree doesn't mean that human nature doesn't run free. By men who want the key to the Caspian Sea, and eliminating leaders who won't agree, replacing them with CIA trainees. It explains the auditory selectivity to the oppressed police who just want to live humanely. So for them in need, I now speak freely. How Obama's change has created more hypocrisy. Against our four-piece campaign, for true peace to sustain, you must ascertain why the voices of the voices are contained. My answers now remove my thoughts from the chain, because my mind is my domain. No force to restrain by placing a fortress in my mental terrain. Outsiders try to maintain, so they contain by the brain drain, so our potential wanes, making this world strange from what's sane by those who follow the mundane. Thankfully, I follow what the Lord ordains, because He's closer to me than my jugular vein. So I won't spend my time in vain, nor making the objective here to entertain, just to show what's blatant by bringing out what's latent in the show to display talent. I use this event to give my 2 cents, so I accept any dissent. But I'm sorry if I left any of you discontent. Enlightenment is my only intent. Through utilizing the present, I have to peace now because this life is transient.
Wow, that was really good, Nevin. Maybe we should just stop rapping. I don't know. I saw you reading from your phone. Did somebody just text you that?
Inshallah, our next act is by an actual actor who made this video. His name is Sean Bay. He's very popular in the Chicago scene, mashallah. So, and he's single. But this is going to be his video, inshallah.
What happened? 9:30. No.
cheesy that many times with my grandmother. It was great to meet you. Dr. Fresh, I'm so sorry I'm late. My alarm didn't go off on time. I rushed over here as soon as I could. Whoa, cool it. If you missed your time slot, there's nothing I can do for you. Perhaps you can try a food mart? You must be Maheen.
That's nice to meet you.
Come on in. If you give a mouse a cookie,
He'll ask for a glass of milk.
mice don't speak. But that's neither here nor there. Let's get down to brass tacks. I don't like to call this an interview, that's too scary. This is more of a formal and uptight conversation that will largely determine the rest of your life. So tell me about it.
Well, I've been living in Chicago for 4 years now, and I just graduated from Loyola University. Go Ramblers! I'm a people person. I love working with people and machines if necessary. My hobbies include teamwork and synergy, and I guess I'm an overall good human being.
That remains to be seen. So this next question I'm going to ask puts some people on edge. How are you?
I'm fine.
All right. Now that we've gotten past that, what are 3 of your biggest weaknesses as a human being?
Sometimes it's hard for me to balance between work and school, and that causes a lot of stress. And sometimes I forget to call my own mother. And I guess you could say I have a weakness for Taylor Lautner. I said I'm a fan of Taylor Lautner.
I thought you said something horribly racist. If I had only heard you correctly, I wouldn't have spilled smoldering hot coffee all over your face. Oh, what a ride! So I'm looking through your resume here, and I must say, very impressive, young lady. It's not so often we get a candidate with such good hands-on experience. Just looking through your resume here. Whoa.
Is something wrong?
I guess I must have missed this before. It said here that you were reprimanded in college for illegally downloading an episode of Gossip Girl.
I know, sir. I understand the more...
I don't care about that. I download things illegally all the time. My computer is literally teeming with nothing but filth and episodes of Seventh Heaven. I hate Chuck Bass. His name makes him sound like he's a pedophile.
I'm sorry?
This interview is over. Is there anything you'd like to ask me?
What can I expect to hear back from you?
That's a wrap!
Oh, thank you. Best. Very best.
Hey! That might be your face, guys.
Hold on, let me bro. Give like 1 second. Alright. And action. You sit down.
Reading so happily.
Wait, that was so hard.
I'll never have Thanksgiving in a sandbox ever again. I've never had that many scams on Sunday since. I haven't eaten that many I haven't had brunch in a sandbox since. I haven't thought about popcorn shrimp the same way since. You must keep my heat.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Don't even look at me.
Get your head.
I just graduated. Graduated from Loyola University. Go Ramblers.
I was just like... What are 3 of your biggest weaknesses as a human being? Mice don't speak. What are 3 of your biggest weaknesses as a human being?
Well, I still live in
My computer is literally just filled with episodes of 7 Heaven.
I'm fine.
I exhaled so sincerely.
I guess you could say I have a weakness for Taylor Lautner.
Just looking through your resume here. Where do you see my oh? It's like so often we get a candidate with such hands-on experience.
Most of the day, most of the night, and things got a little crazy at the end. I didn't think I'd...
Oh, man.
Not asleep yet? No? Inshallah? No? Okay, inshallah. Our next performer is another poet, local poet, aspiring poet perhaps. Rama Lakshmi Shanmugava.
So I don't think I can keep this in my pocket. So I'm just going to use this guy, and I'm not too tall, so there's no problem. I think I'm neither an aspiring poet nor an actual poet, more of a poser, but we'll see how this goes. So I'm just going to go ahead here. Thanks, I appreciate that. It has been almost a year since I became Muslim, and it amazes me how different I really am. People who don't know me may not see the difference. And on the outside looking in, maybe I'm all the same, but from the inside looking out, I feel my world has changed. I used to be blind to the beautiful pictures, deaf to the harmonious sounds. I used to drown out life's magnificence. I never looked around me, never saw anything but me, never knew the bigger picture. I used to be a stubborn girl, a sarcastic girl, a girl who was too strong to cry during sappy films or admit she needed a good hug from time to time. I mocked those sensitive girls, and then my heart systematically shut down. Cell by cell by cell, cardiac arrest. But little did I know that the only cell was a jail cell I caged my heart around. I made myself a prisoner but didn't know I was feeding myself water and bread. I was making myself feel dead, stifling my heart and only thinking with my head. I was too afraid to be emotional that I didn't know how to feel emotion. I didn't know a 1 from a 10, just a 5, never really feeling alive, handing out artificial high fives, never really examining the world around me. I couldn't speak with my heart. I didn't even know how to listen to it. I heard it beat, thump, 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 but I drowned out the sound of my intellect, telling me, don't be another stupid, sensitive girl. You're smarter than that. You're better than that. Only weak people cry. I was a wall, but brick by brick by brick, all brought me down to a place so low I didn't know what to do anymore. I was sad, I was alone, and I felt like there was no one in the world I could talk to. But then Allah spoke to me. He brought me down to a place I didn't want to be, but He built me back up as a Muslim woman. Romeo version 2.0, new and improved with more than just G4. Before I found Islam, I was a shell, but I couldn't tell that I was empty. But that day, once and for all, I said the words La ilaha illallah, choking back the tears, really seeing the words, because in all those years, I never felt a feeling so profoundly beautiful as the sound of my voice confirming that I had found Allah. Or rather, Allah found me in the darkest of places. He gave me light, taught me how to fight my mind and listen to my heart, how the two so far apart could come together in harmony. And no matter how hard the struggle or the trouble of my peers or my fears about my family's rejection, no matter how many attempts to burn our holy book or the streets filled with judgmental looks, I will not regret my choice. Because I listened to the voice of my heart and inside it like the sound of my Creator. great.
Next up, we're going to have a Humorous documentary. It's called Cordova Zero. Inshallah, it's going to be very informative. Inshallah, you guys will enjoy it.
We are here to tell the truth about al-Taqiyya, which is in the Quran. It tells you about the subject of how they taught of the world, how peace is the primary agenda. But instead, peace under their flag. Peace under submission to Islam. We're in which means we are the land of the infidel. And because all of this world doesn't realize that we're going to fight back, they will kill us at every means. I am not a race because Islam is not a race. It's not qualifying it as ideology.
On September the 11th, 2001, our country was hit with one of the largest catastrophes we've experienced in a very long time. Now, 10 years later, one of the buildings in the Lower Manhattan area, within the vicinity of the Ground Zero site, depending on what you consider the vicinity of the Ground Zero site, an old abandoned Burlington coal factory is being purchased to build a community center with an additional Muslim prayer area on the top 2 floors.
The story of Ground Zero Mosque, however we go back, goes back to Imam Faisal Rauf and his wife Daisy Khan, who have been active in the Muslim community in New York for at least a few decades. About a year ago, they, with the involvement of a local Jewish community center, began working on plans for building an Islamic community center in this particular site that is about 2 blocks away from Ground Zero.
Although community organizers have voted almost 10-to-1 for building this community center, the topic and idea have been met with complete rejection.
Any place they conquer, they have to put some sort of mosque and some sort of statue or some sort of monument.
We want the truth. We want people to know what Islam is.
The mosque at Ground Zero represents a movement known as political Islam.
Forces have gathered to blow out of all proportion the construction of a minor community center to transform it into a training ground for terrorists and an insult to the victims of 9/11 and a tribute to medieval Muslim subjugation of the West. There is no training ground for terrorists. There is no insult to the victims of 9/11. There is no tribute to medieval Muslim subjugation of the West. There is, in fact, no Ground Zero mosque. It isn't a mosque. A mosque, technically, is a Muslim holy place in which only worship can be conducted. What is planned for 45 Park Place, New York City, is a community center
with a museum, a swimming pool, facilities for an auditorium, facilities for classes.
A basketball court and a culinary school. It is to be 13 stories tall, and the top 2 stories will be a Muslim prayer space. What a cauldron of terrorism that will be. Terrorist chefs and terrorist porn guards.
Exactly is objective to the community center, and why?
Some notorious Islamophobes, for lack of a better term, enter the picture.
They have this kind of this very linear message that Muslims are somehow backwards and dangerous for America.
Trope in the attacks on Muslims today is this idea that Muslims publicly preach peace, but privately are preaching war.
We are here to tell the truth about al-Taqiyya, which is in the Quran, and tell you about the deception of how they promise the world how peace is their primary agenda, but instead peace under their flag. Peace under submission to Islam.
And so there's this notion that is often raised, this alleged idea called taqiyya, that the common Muslim doesn't even know about. But the assertion here is that according to this so-called belief, Muslims are, if not permitted, they're even instructed to lie about their intentions.
So you just see an emboldening of right-wing politics in this country, and seeing this as an opportunity to galvanize a large portion of the population, especially groups like the JDL.
You find this even in some movies, this notion that this is some Muslim practice, that you hide your intentions, and then you present a wonderful, happy, smiling face when actually behind everyone's back you're planning to take over and subjugate everyone.
I don't believe this is a national, massive movement against Islam. I believe that it's loud, few people who happen to be bigots and fascists, and they're promoting their own agenda. And if people get on board with that, we have to make sure that they understand that they're doing the wrong thing, and they're not being American by doing that.
Now, one interesting thing, when we were down there, we noticed that they were holding signs saying, PLO, go to hell. Upon further research, the PLO is actually the Palestinian Liberation Organization. Now, you might ask yourself, what does Palestine have to do with this topic?
Because of 9/11, because of the first World Trade Center bombing, because of events overseas, it becomes easy to then present Muslims as people who already are documented as hostile to America.
Furthermore, we noticed that they were holding pictures and talking of this Kahane or Kahin. And I couldn't help but ask some of the people at the protest, asking, who is this Kahin?
Basically, Kahan is almost only as important as his followers, because his message wasn't just that Palestinians were like a problem and needed to be removed, but he actually explicitly said over and over and over again that tactics need to be taken to kill and completely destroy the Palestinian population.
So what am I also saying? That there are religious figures who are even part of the hate. There are political figures who are trying to capitalize on the hate to elevate their own chances at election. And there are even religious figures who have no investment except to either win converts or just condemn everyone else. They are also part of the hate.
Organizations like the JDL really don't have that much of a concern about the building of a mosque or not. They're very well aware that there are plenty of mosques all around the United States. What they really want is to gain support on their side against the whole Palestinian-Israeli issue. And this will apply to most organizations that are against the building of this community center.
The constant bombardment of various media outlets saying that Muslims are the terrorists. So we, the people, are saying that is not true, that is inaccurate, that is false reporting, that we stand with our communities, all of them, the immigrant community, as well as the Muslim and Arab community, and we embrace them to be part of America.
Thankfully, there are many media outlets out there, both in articles and video, that have recognized the unnecessary conflict this has created, and how it's really a silly, elongated topic that really has no danger and is just a simple community center. There are many of them all around the United States. This one just happens to be near Ground Zero.
Doesn't
freedom everywhere?
Yes, and that's what makes this country great. But this is different.
How's that, Mr. Dan?
Muslims attacked us on September 11th.
All Muslims? Wow, that must have been a big plane.
Boy, if we let them build their mosque there, it'd be like...
Like Muslims praying in the Pentagon?
What the? I didn't know about that. No! It'd be like...
Like letting Japanese fly planes over Pearl Harbor?
Yes! No! It'd be like a slap in the face to those who died and suffered on September 11th.
Oh, like when House Republicans said no to more medical care for Ground Zero emergency workers.
No, God boy, that's different. And I'm sure they have their reasons.
But wouldn't it be good to have peaceful Muslims right there?
You just don't get it, dog boy. Anywhere but there. Anywhere.
Anywhere?
Yes, anywhere.
Mr. Dan, but what about...
No buts. Anywhere else.
Mr. Dan, look out!
Anywhere but here.
Mr. Dan?
Here. Back to...
Woo, Mr. Dan, they have a swimming pool too. All mosques have swimming pools.
Dog boy.
I like swimming, Mr. Dan.
We are Muslims and I feel welcome. Thank you, New York. I am a Muslim, and I feel welcome. And I agree with what she's saying, and I feel very proud. Because she is saying something that I feel inside that I cannot get out. But on the streets of New York, I am heard.
Mashallah, that was a very nice documentary. You guys can just search Cordova Zero on YouTube if you guys want to watch it again. Tell your friends. Next up, we got the first funny comedian that Loyola MSA ever brought. His name is Faris Balota. Faris, can you come in here?
Hey, what's up, homie?
What's up, Samir? What's going on, bro?
You guys hear me? Alright, how's everybody doing tonight? Alright, so this morning Zach was sitting at breakfast with me, and we were both eating cereal without milk. And he goes, hey Fetus, do you want to do stand-up comedy? And I was like, there's like 8 hours left, you know? And he's like, doesn't matter, you know, it's only 10 what you had. So I was like, you know what, I'll give it a try. So, anyway, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Fetus, and actually my name has like a pretty funny history. My dad wanted to name me Sultan, and my mom wanted to name me Usama, and it's not a joke, I'm serious. And they, you know, they didn't know what to do, so at the end they just picked Fetus. Why? I don't know. It was a funny story. So, I don't know about you guys, but my mom loves me. She loves me to death. She cares about me more than she cares about my dad. She doesn't admit it, but I know she does. So, my mom, when I first got my permit, you know, it was about 5 years ago, and she was the one who taught me how to drive. So, we get in the car, and she's like, Fetus, make sure your seatbelt's on, make sure the mirrors are checked. And I'm like, okay, so I'm sitting in the car, and she goes, Fetus, watch out! I'm like, Mom, we're still on the driveway. and then, you know, that basically showed like how much she cared about me, and she was nervous, and then I finally got my license 12 months after I got my permit. And the day I went to school, when I transferred to Loyola, was the first time I moved out of my house. You know, Mom was always used to me being in the house. I was always the one at dinner making everybody laugh. I was always the one in the house, you know, driving everybody crazy. And Mom used to always be like, man, inshallah, one day you want me to never come back. Finally, I moved out to Loyola, and you should have seen her. She had a heart attack. She was on the driveway, I was in the car. My friend picked me up. I think it was Zed, can't remember. But, so Zed picks me up, and you know, the first time I leave the house, I have like my laundry basket and my book bag, and I'm getting ready to leave the house for the first time. My mom's on the driveway just crying. I thought, like, she made me feel like I was really never coming back. So then she started crying so hard, and then me and Zach drive away. And It was like in a movie, like Zach drives away and then we just put the car in reverse all the way back to the block. And then I get out the car and I just start crying so we roll away. Zach started crying. So my mom, she's honestly like a very hard-working lady. She's a full-time teacher at Marine Community College. You don't know what it is, it's in the South Suburbs. And my mom, she does everything. She cooks, she teaches, she cleans, she full-time job. And last year my sister got engaged. And after she got engaged, finally, her fiance was another liability from him. She started doing his laundry too. You know? So it's funny because on Sundays I go back. You know, I come to school and I go back every Friday. Everybody has like their basket of clothes. You know. So my mom like does everybody's clothes. I don't know how she knows like whose socks are what, whose underwears are what. You know, everybody's just sharing stuff. You know. It's funny. I came like 2 weeks ago to school and I looked at my basket and my underwear was like this big. You know? I was just like, I was going to, I know I did great, but it wasn't that much. You know. And then I looked and it was like my dad's name on the back. And then I picked up, I was like, this is mine. So I put it away. But then I just was so tiny. It was the smallest underwear in the world. I was like, man, we have a really bad drive. And then I looked and it says out to my little brother's underwear. So I didn't know what to do there. And I go back home. It was just honestly really happy. And then, yeah, so that's how we really like it as well. Yeah, who here ever like, who here hates traveling with their family? Everybody, I know everybody hates traveling with their family. Yeah, so my family, when we go on vacation, we need a vacation after the vacation. Because the whole vacation we're just fighting. My mom, who here went overseas before, back to their country? You know, I know you guys all back to all those things. So when we go to Jordan, my mom, it's, you know, it's like 6 of us traveling. And everybody's allowed 2, you know, suitcases to travel with. So the limit is 12 because we're 6 people. And my mom has to put like the couches inside the suitcase. You know? So one year we went and like, you know, we have a little weight machine at home and, you know, the maximum is 50 pounds. So my mom like, she thinks like kilos is 50 pounds. You know? And then I was like, Mom, that's at least 75 pounds. She's like, don't worry about it, they didn't let us pass by. I'm like, no, they like, you know, charge you $100. She's like, no, don't worry about it, I know what to do. So we get to the airport and then who's the one unloading the van? Me. So I'm unloading the van, I'm dropping. When I drop, she has a heart attack. No one's helping me out, no one's doing anything. So we get to the front, you know, the guy's weighing, he's like, man, this is 75 pounds. And I'm just sitting there in front of everybody. Everybody's traveling, you know, they have like their little carry-on, a little suitcase. We're the only people who have like 12 suitcases. So the guy goes, man, you're gonna have to, you know, either pay extra or take stuff out. And then Mom's like, okay, we're not gonna pay extra, we're gonna take stuff out. She starts taking out clothes and putting them on me. You know, I was traveling with like 13 shirts on. You know, I was only, for some reason, I don't know why when we go overseas, my mom has to take Starburst and M&M's for everyone. They don't have chocolate over there or something. You know? And we always take some like cases of Tylenol. I don't know why though. We get there, we start passing out Tylenol and Starburst every day. It's really weird, but they love it. Yeah, so one time, my mom like, I go to a crazy trip traveling and I was like, Mom, you're embarrassing, I hate being on you shit. She's like, well, sit on your McDonald's and I'll take up all the bags, you know? So she's like, you know what's the last time I traveled with you? So what did you do the next year? She put me on a different flight. So I'm traveling alone, you know, I was kind of lonely, but at the same time I was like happy. You know, I didn't feel anybody. So it was on the way back, you know, it was the end of the summer and I couldn't wait to come back. So when you go on vacation for like 2-3 weeks, you're happy after that, just Jay's, I do the same thing every day. So I was finally coming back, and it was me and my sister on one flight. We left on a Sunday night, we were coming back, and we had a connection flight in New York. And then we were supposed to take a flight from there to Chicago. So we're finally almost in New York, and you know, I'm like so happy. And before we left, my mom, I was like, Mom, we're gonna stop in New York for a couple hours because we need money to eat and chill. She's like, here's $30. I was like, what do you need $30? We need 20. We'll be there for 4 hours. She's like, what do you need? You're gonna eat a big Mexican meal, that's it. You know, you're gonna go shopping. So like, I don't know what that is. She's like, just go ahead. So she gave me $30, and she gave me my sister $30. So that's like 15 people. So we found that we were about to reach New York in this huge thunderstorm in the cities. You know, this huge thunderstorm. So what did they do? They took us to Canada. And we got to Canada, they wouldn't let us out of the flight because they had to change our visa and stuff. So we stayed sitting in the airplane for 8 hours. And then we finally went to New York. It was like, we were like 13 hours past our flight, you know. So we got there and we were like, alright, everybody, flights are canceled. You guys will have to reschedule and stuff. This was like a Sunday night we got there. So they rescheduled us for Wednesday. Okay, me and my sister. And we only had $30, you know. I'm like, my sister, you know, we get a big chicken every 6 hours so we could survive. We'll just chill, you know. We had extra that we'll buy, like, you know, drinks. So we finally get to the airport, and we have our suitcases too, so we each had 2 suitcases, you know? So we get to the airport, what am I doing? I'm like, to my sister, I'm like, Dad, have a good day. She's like, what? I'm like, I'll buy a phone card, and then I'll call Mom, and I'll try to book us a hotel, and we'll just chill there for 2 days. She's like, no, that's why you know? So I'm like, yeah, sometimes I come handy. So I go to the phone card machine, and you know, the phone card's $5. So I put in a 20. And after I buy the phone card, it says exact change. So there goes the $20. And what do? I buy 4 phone cards. So I stand by the machine, I start selling them for $2. I didn't just make profits. And no one bought them. So, and then I realized I didn't know my mom's number either, so I didn't know why to buy a phone card. So I ended up calling my friend from Chicago, and we just had like a fun time on the phone. So we had $10 left, and then we had 3 days left. So me and my sister go, we both bought like a McChicken and you know, fried, and then I applied at McDonald's too. And all this happened in like 6 hours. You know, I thought like we were about to leave in 5 minutes. So all this happened, and we had no more money, and there was like 2 days left. So my sister knocks out, you know, we were traveling for like almost 28 hours, and she finally falls asleep. She takes out like, you know, my shirts, my jeans, makes a little bit out of it. She falls asleep. And I was so jealous when she fell asleep. So it's like, I'm away, we have 2 days left, my sister's sleeping. So I was like, finally say, get home. I can't believe you believe it's time. She just slept for 5 minutes. She was like, oh crap, are you serious? I'm like, no, you just sleep for 5 minutes. I just don't want her to sleep. And then, anyways, we started walking. I don't even know what happened. We started walking for a couple days. I felt like I was in the terminal. And then, I finally got tired. I felt like the day being that I couldn't, you know, like, I got to the point where I just had to sleep. So I take out, you know, a couple clothes, a couple packs of, like, you know, shirts and stuff, and I make the bed up. I fall asleep. It was like the best sleep of my life. After I fell asleep, like, not even 3 minutes, this guy wakes me up. He's like, excuse me, sir. I'm like, yeah, he's like, we have to build a display here. I'm like, yeah, the whole airport. Display on my head. Like, you're gonna move 3 blocks to the right, you have to build it right here. He's like, yeah, we're gonna talk these 3 queues. Like, there's 34 terminals. You have to pick this one. So he woke me up, I guess I was payday. I don't even know, I think my sister paid him or something. That's what happened. Anyway, we ended up leaving like 3 days later. I get home, and my mom's at home. She left like the day after us, and she got there the day before we did. So I get home, she's like, where were you, by Zach's house? I'm like, no, I was in New York for 3 days. She's like, oh, it's okay, I wish you had money to eat. I'm like, no, we didn't. It's been a whole situation, and then she felt bad, and you know, I think we hit her. So, that's not my traveling story 3 years ago. Anyways, yeah, so, I have like the craziest family in the world. I don't know if you guys, anybody knows my family here, but I have like the craziest brother in the world. He's honestly a psycho. I have a story to tell you. So it was like 4 years ago, and we were moving from our old house to our new house. So Mom's like, you know, it's the last 2 weeks in our old house. Mom's like, guys, you gotta make sure you don't move anything. We have 2 weeks left. Let's just keep the house clean and stuff. So I'm like, okay. So I invite Zach at the time. I think it was my only friend. I invite Zach over, and he's in the basement, and I don't know what happened. We just like started like messing around. He just pissed me off. I think he ate my cookie or something. So I started chasing him in the basement. Our basement was so tiny back in the days. So he started, you know, like he started running around, and I was chasing him and stuff. So he goes behind the desk, and I kept trying to like lean over and slap his face, like sitting behind the desk. So I was like, no, I have an idea. I'll push the desk into him. So I push the desk into Zach. What does he do? He like he moves back to the bed, and his butt goes through the wall. muscles like huge, you know? Like, how did you do that? And he's like, I don't know. You gotta explain it to mom, you know? And then he just starts crying. I bring down my sister. I'm like, that little did it. She's like, that's what did you do? I'm like, no, he did it. She's like, no, you did it. And I'm like, I didn't do it. That's not right. But I don't know how she knew I did it. But yeah, so I told my mom the story of what happened, and then like she like slept with me a few times. But I told her after we moved into our new house what happened. I always tell my mom this truth like 3 years after it happened. Because I'm like, so when we were younger, me and my sister we used to like scare each other. Like all the time, just like a game we had. Like I'd go hide in the closet and like scream at her. She'd go hide like under the car and like grab my ankles. One time she scared me, grab my literally. Like, I was walking. It was like I was probably in 6th grade, and she was like, she was the oldest, she was in 7th. And this is like when I was in English, I was this one. Like I had a washroom from Mario one day, and I just got big. Like I was really short in 6th grade. So I was walking one day, and she screamed. I had a heart attack. I was like, ah! You know, I started screaming. So I was like, no, I'm gonna do it real good. I'm gonna like, I'm honestly just gonna like drive her crazy. It's really the craziest thing ever. So at that time when it happened, my dad was overseas. He went like for a family trip. So it was just me and my mom at home. My mom, like when my dad travels, she's like so like scared. She locks the doors like 8 times. She keeps walking around the house. She's a security guard. Mom, look at the door. There's nothing wrong. She doesn't know what that is. So I'm like, okay. So my sister's taking a shower. It was like perfect. It was like honestly like scary. She shot me. It was like thunder outside. Everything is exactly what I planned for. I like check the local forecast to before it. So she shot me. I'm like sitting on her bed. I'm like, so she comes out like dressed. That's all I cared about. So she comes out and thankfully she was dressed. So she comes out and she sits on the bed that I was hiding under. At the time she shared with my older sister, but my older sister at that time sat in my mom's room because she was like really young, so she was like really scared. So I go under her bed. I'm just waiting for her to come. She comes on the bed. She sits down. It was like honestly scared. When she sits on the bed, looks in the mirror, starts like. She scared me. I was like, I got scared. I looked at her in the car. I'm sitting like under the bed. I'm like scared to scare her. I was honestly shaking. So she sits on the bed. She starts pulling her hair, and I'm like waiting for the right moment. I like wait 2 minutes for her to like get dedicated. And she was pulling her hair. Like her eyes. So anyway, so she's sitting there, and I grab her ankles. I'm like, ah! And I start shaking. I grab out her ankles and everything. And then she was like honestly like an alarm for a car. She's like, ah! She was like so insistent about watching me. My mom, she comes and she drop kicks the door. She comes and she sits down in the bed holding her ankles. And my sister's on the bed. She probably picks me up, she starts slapping me, I started crying. And my sister started crying, we're all just crying on the bed. It was awesome, right? Yeah, so, those were the days. And, so I transferred to Loyola after I went to Green Valley Community College. And I went there, my mom taught there. And it was like, kind of like, not embarrassing, like, you know, you go to school, your mom teaches there, you're in college. You know, and I was like a senior in high school, I'm like, yes, I finally got a car, I'm going to start out in college, my life is good, I'm going to be the coolest guy on campus. So my sister used to have a Taylor campus, my uncle used to have a Taylor campus in 1994. He gave it to my mom, my mom gave it to my sister, then my sister gave it to me. I got over 350,000 miles. So like, down the block it will turn out. My mom gives me the car, she's like, listen, fellas. I'm like, oh, she's like, this car should last for another 10 years. You check the mileage on the car, it's a Toyota. Okay. So you know, I got it, I was so happy. Like, the back window wouldn't close. Like, I had to put a screwdriver in there so it could stay up. You know, like, maybe the winter just fall down. And now I think I was so anxious too. I'd be like, yeah, it's kind of cold and hot outside, you know? That was freezing. And my chair, like, it would move while I'm driving. Like, I'm just against the bottom, I was like, you know? I thought I was trying to do the game show, but I honestly, like, move the chair. So I kept turning like this. I was like 5'1". I feel like my textbook's under me so I can see over there. And then like, the whole car would just fog up for any reason. It was like 80 degrees would be foggy for some reason. So there was like this little hole I didn't drive on with. 50,000 miles on it. It doesn't matter. Well, if I had it, it would have been here forever. Blah, blah, blah. She's like, you know what? Today, I'm going to get the car. So the car was sold to the junkyard for like $50. And then I started getting dropped off at college with my mom. I went to the same school too. She'd give me like my $10 allowance. I was jobless at the time. So she'd give me money, she'd give me a kiss and a hug, and like I'd be going down to school. I'd be going down the same building. And then every time I saw him in school, I was like, I don't want to see him, I was just screaming at me in front of me. So once I was walking with my friends, and I was like, yeah, don't you hate when you guys, like when your mom screams at you or something? And I'm like, oh man, my mom's just like, Fez, go to class! I'm going to class now. She's like, listen man, go to class, do your homework. And I was so embarrassed at that age. Like, honestly, it was so embarrassing. Mom snapping me in the middle of college. So, like, me and my mom honestly had a really close relationship. So I finally moved out to Loyola. I come here, and I meet the MSA for like, I don't know what the MSA was before I came. You know, I went to other schools, but like, Greenville was all they don't really like MSAs. One time I remember we had like a little get together, and then after that it turned into like everybody started bumping and like I was engaged for a second. So I come here and you know I just go to the measure for the first time and everything, and I go to gym, you know. So like where I come from, I don't gym, nobody texts, you know, nobody talks, everybody sits and pays attention. I come here, everybody's in the back using their laptop. Some people are like updating their statuses in Jamaica, bored as hell. The young comments on their same here. I realized I was the only one not talking, so like, honestly like, people honestly like eating, texting, laughing, joking, and I was like, man, this has to change, you know? So, I started talking and texting too. We all began to, you know? So, and then it was really weird, like last semester, I go into the masjid, and there's like a note from the girls that saying, excuse me brothers, you know, I heard you talking crap about me, blah, blah, blah. And there's this girl spying on the wall, you know? We started texting each other stuff all around the masjid. We stopped talking. So, it was just really weird. And I remember the last time I was in class, and there was a bunch of Muslims in the class. And you know, the teacher was like, I know you guys have to break your fast, so everybody brings something simple in class. And break your thought on like a sandwich or chips or something. So I went to McDonald's, I got a cinnamon to make chicken, something small. 7 Daisies walk in. Honestly, just bags. And then they walk in, and I stopped eating. I looked at the person next to me, I'm like, those Muslims, so what are they doing? Like I wasn't with them. Honestly, everybody pulls out like drinks, opening up pop cans, like they were sitting at dinner table or something. And then you just see them. Facebook, the status is a little honestly, like, somebody said this is like, at the gym text me. Why would I text you at the gym? So what am I going to say? What are you lifting? Or somebody will text me, going to bed, good night world. And then, the other thing I hate is like, you know, everybody wants to keep like, you know, their secrets to themselves, you know. Like my friends will put like on their status like, she just broke up with me at her, blah, blah, blah. You know? And everybody else will push like, all his friends will put like, and then you know who your real friends are. One doesn't like you. Well, my favorite thing on Facebook is pictures in the bathroom. I have a friend, you know, he's like, oh, see that little muscle popping out, and he'll go to the bathroom, take off his clothes. And like 30 out of his 30 pictures on him, I feel like his whole life is in the bathroom. Or like, I love when girls, like, you know, when girls, it's like all 7 of them, they're all like, I don't know why they think like that's like that's the guideline for taking a picture. You should go. I don't know. But yeah. So I like to see a girl like I feel like some girls just go out honestly just to take pictures. They don't even have fun. They just like let's go update on Facebook. You know, go out, take pictures. You guys see like my my family, when I went on a trip like 2 months ago to California, I just wanted to do is take pictures. You know, like mom was like, oh, let's go to Alcatraz, and visit it. And I was like, yes, we can take pictures, they put it on Facebook. We were walking, she was updating her album as we were walking. So just like, better take pictures, so I went to tell her.